Hello again, and welcome back to another tip of the week. Today, I want to give you a quick tip about a mindset switch that will make it easier when you're delegating work. I'm Karen Dunn-Skinner. I'm a lawyer and a Lean Six Sigma black belt. I help attorneys and their teams build more profitable and productive law practices. Earlier this week, we hosted 2 free live masterclasses entitled The 3 Mistakes Lawyers Make When They're Running Their Practice and How You Can Avoid Them. We talked about delegation, more on that in a minute, and 2 areas in your firm where you absolutely need to have effective systems. We also talked about overcoming the biggest barriers to action, and the biggest one is not even knowing where to focus your efforts once you've decided to create a more profitable, productive practice. If you missed the masterclass, don't worry. We're running the training again next week. You can sign up and join us on Wednesday, February 12th or Thursday, February 13th using the link below. So, during the live session, we talked about the mistake many of us, particularly those of us in smaller firms or working solo, make. And that mistake is we try to do it all. Whether you're alone in your firm or you've got a team, you need to delegate effectively if you want to generate more revenue. David calls it learning to train, trust, and let go. But to do that, you've got to have a strategy in place for the training piece. Someone raised an issue during Tuesday's masterclass about delegating, having the person get it wrong and then having to do it all over again yourself anyway. And they asked, was that a waste of time? You know, it isn't. It really isn't. You need to change your mindset about time. When you're training someone, maybe it's a virtual assistant if you're working in a solo practice, you have to be willing to put a little time into the training because it is unlikely to work out perfectly the first time. You have to start with the expectation that training is going to cost you a little investment of your time up front, but you will reap the benefits down the road. Let's say you want your assistant to take over a job that takes you 10 minutes once a week. It may take you half an hour to teach your assistant to do that job, including the correcting you may have to do if he gets it wrong. And a lot of lawyers tell me at this point they give up. And they give up because teaching someone to do the thing takes them longer than doing the thing themselves. And that's true. But here's the mindset switch. You only have to spend that 30 minutes teaching them once. Maybe a few extra minutes of correcting a couple more times until he's got the process down, but basically once. And after that, in perpetuity, you're saving yourself 10 minutes a week. If you can make small but impactful delegations like this in your practice and make them consistently, you will boost your productivity. As David said last week, 80% of lawyers want to change, but most of them won't. They won't put in the time or the effort to make the little changes like this, but you can. Not only will you make your own work easier, you'll be among the 20% of lawyers who are actually doing something, and that will certainly distinguish you from your competition. If you want to learn a few other key things you can do, join us next week for the next installments of our free masterclass, 3 Mistakes Lawyers Make When They're Running Their Practice and How You Can Avoid Them. There's a link to reserve your seat down below. We're also really excited to announce that you can now register for our new course, Practice Accelerator. Practice Accelerator is an intensive online program that will give you a 5-step formula for identifying and eliminating the waste in your law practice so you can increase revenue, cut costs, and deliver even better service to your clients, all without spending any more time in the office. The first module is going to be available on February 24th, that's a Monday, and we'll be live to discuss the session and answer questions later that week. That's it for this week's tip. We'll see you in the masterclass. If you enjoyed the video, like it and share it to your friends. And if you have any delegation suggestions of your own, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to check out the links below for more information, especially about Practice Accelerator. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you next week.